Hello, you elite operators, you good things, and you sexy bastards. Welcome back to Rog. Now, it's only episode 3 or so, and it has not taken long for the budget to be absolutely slashed. If you're watching the podcast, you know exactly what I'm talking about already. But if you're just listening, every other episode, we've been out at the beautiful Rochester Hotel. It's just the most sensational backdrop. We're by the bar. There's no other place you want to have a conversation. But today, they've double booked us and they've got some important business conference on by the bar. So instead, we have been relegated to a glorified broom closet. There's paint coming off the wall. There's bloody, the curtain looks like it's been witness to a murder scene. But that is okay because luckily for me, luckily for all of us, the podcast is not about the setting that it's held. It's about the conversation and the people I am joined with. And I am joined today with possibly the coolest operator I have seen in all of my days. Now, I first knew her back in primary school as Victoria Stilianu, and even then she had aura just radiating off her. But fast forward to today, she's much better known to the world as Victoria Samuels. She's married with kids in the possibly the sexiest relationship you'll ever bear witness to. And she's also the host of the Tori and Mine podcast. Got a little bit of a bio here of Tori and Mine if you're one of the few that are unfamiliar. It's the podcast where Victoria and Jasmine invite you into their world as they navigate the exciting twists and turns of adulthood. Think of Jasmine and Victoria as your virtual big sisters or best friends here to share their experiences and wisdom in the joys and struggles of life, love, and friendship. If there's 3 things I love in this world, it's life, it is love, and it is the mighty Carlton Football Club, but friendship is a close fourth. I can't wait to pick her brain, so let's get her in here, the magnificent Victoria Samuels. Victoria, I must apologise to you, my friend.
Are you going to kidnap me?
We've got them. I think I already have. Like, I don't know if we can actually exit this room now.
You know what? My husband has my location, so it's fine. I shouldn't have told you that, but it's all right.
No, it's good to know. You know, okay. My mum can see my location at all times.
I think it's a good thing.
I don't think so, man. I don't think I want my mum to know what I'm getting up to. So she's like the most anxious mother of all time.
As we all are.
Yeah. And she said to me, you've got to have your location on. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, she's never making me food. And I love my mother's food.
Yeah, that's fair.
It was a genuine threat. So now I've got my location on. So sometimes I like to fuck with her and I'll just go to the brothel. So then when she like zooms in on the location, she sees.
Does she even know it's a brothel though? Does she know? Like when she sees it, like, does she get it?
She would know what the brothels are. Okay. She knows for sure. But yes, no, we are in a glorified dungeon, but that's okay.
Nah, it's cool. As long as the vibes are there and the conversation, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
So
now,
for sure.
You've kicked on in life and done some pretty cool shit. You're a bloody cool operator.
I appreciate that.
But we first met in primary school, and you were one of the very, very lucky invitees to my grade 6 birthday party.
Connor, I had a crush on you.
Did you really?
I thought I should leave that little bombshell.
Really?
I had a massive crush on you.
Man, I fucked it. Why do I always fuck it up?
And you liked Zoe at the time.
Yes.
I remember.
Mate, okay.
So then I had to resort to my next option, which was the big man Carl.
Carl Farage. This is revolution. This is like, do you want to know this? So I've been waiting to tell you this story.
All right, talk to me.
You rock up to my grade 6 birthday party. And of course, my dad, my sister is like, who have you got a crush on? Got a crush on? And I said, that Zoe chick.
Yeah.
And
to be fair though, stunning girl.
Stunner. Absolute
stunning
stunner.
girl.
Wouldn't know what she's getting up to now. I'm sure she's doing great things. But they said to me, you walk in and they're like, oh, surely she's your crush. And I was like, I don't know. I'm really keen on Zoe. And I'm like, man, are you blind? I really think you should be giving Victoria a crack. How right they were. But luckily for me, luckily for you, we didn't end up eventuating.
I feel like if that did ever eventuate, Connor, I probably would have drained your life.
Yeah.
And you probably would have, like when you think about your interests and my interests, I'm going to say something that you're going to probably say get out.
Probably.
Football is just not my...
You're not a football head?
Nah.
Shit.
Nah.
Born and
raised
Victoria.
if I was, I'd probably be a Collingwood.
Yeah, well, you've got the European descent. I feel like that's born to be the mighty Carlton Football Club. But going back to primary school, I feel like you would have had deluxe lunch boxes. Like, were your lunch boxes spot on?
They were incredible. They were absolutely incredible.
Were you more an LCM or a roll up?
I was both. My mum was
Shit.
a real-time G where she would give me the blue pop tops with the LCMs and the roll-ups, and then I'd have... Yeah, no, I was very lucky. I
didn't know that was an option for us public school operators. I thought like the blue pop tops was a private school job. I was here lucky to get tap water in a bloody drink bottle. You were rocking blue pop tops.
No, I was very lucky. So yeah, no, I never. Do you remember in primary school that there was that brick wall, and then everyone used to?
I think there was a few of them.
But there was that little hole near the bathroom, and everyone used to dodge their sandwiches in that
hole in the bathroom.
Do you
I've
remember
seen
that?
them on the dodgy websites as an adult. I don't remember the hole in the bathroom in primary school.
I remember very, very vividly that, you didn't eat, because it would be a thing. You go home, the sandwich is still in the lunchbox, everything else was gone, and that would be a big deal. Why didn't you eat your sandwich?
Oh, yeah, I copped a smack or two for not eating mum's sandwiches.
I realised that too, but when you just chuck it in that, I would actually love to know that school, if they were to dig up that.
You know what they should do? Like, if you're like maybe like a homeless man, just go on the other side of that hole and you're just getting free sandwiches all day. Like, you're just sitting there, you wouldn't believe your luck.
Very true.
Yeah. No, I had pretty shitty lunchbox. I remember in high school, I not to talk shit about my old man, right, but I live with a single dad.
Yep.
And his thing was he'd get home from the pub, and he'd have a heap of like spare gold coins, and he'd put them in the coin jar.
Yep.
So then when I leave for school, I would
just take the coins.
Take the coins, get myself a sausage roll.
What's wrong about that? That's like that's what we all wanted.
Well, what's wrong is sometimes the coin jar ran on empty. Sometimes the coin jar was out of petrol, and I just needed a little bit of fuel to get through, but the petrol tank was on empty. Anyway, this one time I'm like, fucking hell, I'm already hungry. It's breakfast. There's no food in the house. It's a single man's house.
Yep.
No food in the pantry, no food in the fridge. So where do I resort to? The medicine cabinet. And I took a pack of Strepsils to school, and for lunch I was just sitting there popping bloody a dozen Strepsils. After that, Daniel Allen, who's actually our beautiful, extraordinary cameraman, editor, his brother, my best mate, Michael, his word got through about Strepsil Gate to his mum, and she would bring me sandwiches to school.
That's sweet. That's lovely.
Oh, my dad, it's all right.
That's all right.
I feel like your kids are going to have deluxe lunch boxes.
They're spoiled little girls already. One being 2 and another one being 5 months old.
Yeah.
The love.
Bit early for school, 5 months.
Definitely.
I wouldn't get him in yet.
No, but at this age, you have to actually start thinking about what school you're going to send them to.
Yeah.
And, because we live so close to the primary school that we went to, I said to my husband, Trey, I want them at that school. I want to kind of build this tradition.
A legacy.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Templestowe Heights primary.
Yeah, so it's exciting, but it's something you have to kind of look into when they reach, I think, 3, because there's like a waiting list.
Really?
There is a waiting list.
Templestowe Heights primary
Well,
school?
it's changed now. It's changed. It's not as
Wait, is it deluxe now?
a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit.
Fuck, we didn't even have goalposts. Like, I know you couldn't tell us about footy.
Yeah, no, we had nothing.
We had nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know how we made it where we had. You mentioned your husband. What is it like to be one half of possibly the most aesthetically pleasing couple on walking this planet?
I mean, you say that and I appreciate that, but it's all him.
You reckon?
I've made everything that I have through my social media because of him, and I love it. You know how when some females, they're like, don't look at my man, don't show him attention, he's not hot, I'm like the opposite. I'm like, he's the hottest thing I've ever seen in my life. Enjoy, because I get to enjoy it. You can look, you can't touch. You can
look but can't touch.
But enjoy it. No, he's as beautiful as he is more kind and intelligent and just like the most talented person I have ever met in my entire life.
So now I'm here to chat to you about yourself, but I am curious about your beautiful husband.
Yep.
I seem to remember, when you're just scrolling through the Insta stories, you see little things pop up, and I haven't actually gone and researched it, but am I right in saying he's a singer-songwriter, he's produced a song or wrote a song for Chris Brown, is that?
That's right. He wrote the famous Go Crazy.
Right.
And when you hear the demo that he wrote, it's just... He wrote the whole song.
Yeah.
He wrote, I would say 90% of the song he wrote. And he's just so talented. He is so talented.
So what was it like, me as a man, 27 years single, I'm so curious with the concept of falling in love. So, you know, it's a rarity nowadays that people get married as young as, are you 26?
Yeah, I'm 26, turning 27, yeah.
Rare people get married, have kids at sort of this age, but obviously it's awesome that you have. So you would have had to have been confident that you are in love and this is it. So how did you know and when did you know?
We actually well, it's a bit of a story. I found him first originally when I was 13 years old.
Shit.
I came across his YouTube. He was putting out a
you're
song.
a fan? You're a fan?
I was a fan. I was a big fan. And I saw it and I instantly thought to myself, like, you know when they talk about love at first sight, when you just know you know?
Yeah.
It was that moment for me. I saw this kid. I was like, who is that? That is everything I could imagine. But obviously being 13 and he'd be from a different school, I was like,
Makes it hard.
Can't do anything. So I just kind of let that go. 3 years later, I was about 16. We were both 16 years old. We officially connected.
What's that, a Facebook ad?
An Instagram DM.
Oh shit,
It went
that's
down.
big.
It went
That's
down in
big.
the DMs. He came in strong with a playlist for me. He wrote me. He made me a
intimate,
playlist.
man. I think there's nothing more
And I feel,
intimate.
but when I feel like when someone's coming in that strong, you can't, you're not going to let that go. Like, it's like, all right, like, you got me. It worked.
So was it his playlist that he likes, or did he make a playlist for you?
He made a playlist for
Fuck,
me.
man, that is a hot tip.
But
I need to take that on
I
board.
like to joke that he just made a playlist and probably changed the girls' names and then would send it to whoever he was
Also
like
genius.
talking to.
Also genius, yeah.
You know, but from there we were together for a year or so. We went our separate ways, not on any toxic terms or anything. And during those 6 years that we weren't together, I had encountered relationships that were toxic and that were just like everything you don't want your daughter to be.
Did he feel like the one that got away in those 6 years?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you think you have it all, you let it go, and then you experience, in my opinion, the shit end of the stick with dating.
Yeah.
And then you think back, oh, like these little things don't matter. You know how, for instance, some girls have like an ick list.
Yeah.
And their ick list is like, okay, if he doesn't do this, if he doesn't do that, if he doesn't do this, I'm not going to give him the time of day. I had that list.
Shit.
When it came to Trey, I let that list go, and all the little things that would have usually bothered me, and same thing with him, we both just focused on the core values that were aligning, like how much we were so similar, how we spoke, you know, our families and our interests. And even to this day, I still think like we're yin and yang, and we're like, he balances me out and I balance him. But I think when you've experienced a life when you've experienced the real dating scene as an adult, and then you come into contact with someone that, you know, really did treat you well and really did have your best interests and really treated you with kindness and love and affection, it's like, I'm not letting this go again. Like,
Yeah.
and then from there, it was just like, I'll have kids, I'll get married with you. Like, but if it was anyone else, I probably wouldn't have done
It's funny how it takes you like all the shit experiences
for
to
sure.
like properly appreciate the good ones. You know, I think a problem that I have like when I'm trying to date and, you know, find the one, as they say, is one of my favorite lyrics by one of my favorite bands, the 1975.
Okay.
They say, "Don't fall in love with the moment and think you're in love with the girl." And
Okay, yeah.
that happens to me a lot where
Yep.
I'll meet someone, we're getting on like a house on fire, and people say, do you want looks or personality, right? Obviously, we're adults now, so we know personality is important.
Is it? No, I'm just kidding. It is.
But I'm neither.
Okay.
I'm the narrative.
What's the narrative?
So I want the story. Like, for example, there was this girl that
Yep.
was a waitress at the cafe that I just moved into,
Yep.
like down the road. We went and we had so I started going in for breakfast every weekend by myself just to see
Yep.
her, building,
Aw.
flirting. And then I asked her for her number and she said she was so happy. She said, I'd love to. Went on a couple dates. It was going beautifully well. Now,
Sweet.
the narrative
Yeah.
was what gripped me. It was
Okay.
like, it felt storybook. But it didn't work out, unfortunately.
Okay.
But I question, did I fall in love with the moment more than the girl itself? So how did you know that you were in love with your partner?
When I felt like I could be my most vulnerable self and be the big, obnoxious, loud person that, you know, society tells women not to be.
Sure.
that was it for me. I mean, in my last relationship, I was in a relationship where it was very misogynistic, and it was very, don't talk a certain way, don't be a certain way, dress a certain way.
When you were in it, did you know that it was wrong, or did you feel it was wrong?
No,
I
thought it was normalized. I was blinded.
Yeah.
I was in love. I thought it was normalized. I thought it was just like, okay, like if I want a partner and if I want to get married and I want that type of life, this is I was wifey material,
Was that one where you were talking to your friends about it and they would tell you?
I had no friends at the time.
Really?
I was isolated from friendships. I only had one best mate, Manny. You remember
I'm
Manny?
well familiar with Manny. Great soccer player, great haircut.
And it was up until he said to me, "Look, you're not being yourself, and you're not actually happy." And I then had to step back and see it from like a bird's eye view point, where I was like, yeah, this isn't, if I want a certain life, this isn't.
When you made that realization, was it hard to break it off still, or did it become sort of an easier decision?
I think it's your mentality. When you stop romanticizing the bullshit and you just see it for what it is, you can then understand, okay, it's going to be a lot easier to move on because this isn't love, So yeah, when I reconnected with Trey at the end of 2021 and I realized that I could be myself, and he loved that, if I didn't want to rock a bra, he's like, yeah, don't rock a bra. Don't wear whatever you want. Be confident. If you want to do this, you should do that. If you want to go travel the world, you should go do that. Like when I had somebody that was so supportive and so for me and like on my team, it was just like a no-brainer where it was like,
that's awesome.
That's it. That's all I need.
How do you propose?
Well, it was actually, it's not your typical down on one knee with the ring. There's no ring. And we were actually pregnant. We fell pregnant. We were living in the States together. We fell pregnant.
You're living in America?
We were living in America. He was working in America at the time. And he's like, come with me. I don't want to be away from you. And I was like, I don't want to be away from you. So I was living with him for about 2 months in America. Shithole of a place, by the way.
Yeah, no, I was not big on America. I have a lot of family friends
Shithole.
over there.
I actually judge people that like America.
Yeah, no,
if you like America, you're not my cup of tea.
No, I went to Chicago and I went to LA. Disneyland was probably the best thing I've ever seen. Outside of that, shithole.
Absolute shithole. Made me appreciate Australia more than anything in the world. Probably the best country ever. And when we found out we were pregnant, it was a conversation about what we were going to do, what was our plan, and he first brought up and said, look, I know how important marriage is to you when starting a family. Is that something you would want to do? And I said, okay, well, look, I don't want to just get married because we're pregnant. Is that something that,
How long had you been together for at this stage?
3 months.
3 months, the second coming.
Yeah.
3 months. Huge.
3 months. And he said, well, look, I don't want to ruin this for you, but I've already asked your parents for their blessing before you came to America.
Really?
It wasn't going to happen this trip, but I just wanted to get there face to face.
Yeah.
But now that we've gone down this route, is that something that you'd want to do? So it was honestly just a conversation, and I loved it. As much as I love romance and love the big proposal, I think what I love more is just a real honest conversation about where we're going to take our life and how much we love each other and appreciate each other, and that was enough for me.
I think that's such a mature way of going about it. It just makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Although my proposal idea, when I do eventually fall in love, can't be far away, surely. Time's ticking.
It's got to incorporate the footy field, isn't it?
No, right. So here, imagine this, right? So we've been together like 7 years. Like
7?
Let's just imagine.
7?
Well, I've taken 27 years to get in a relationship, let alone when I'm in it. I'm going to
give you 3. I feel like you should have, at this age, you should give
3 years?
3 years for a ring. Doesn't have to be married. It doesn't have to be like the wedding.
Yeah.
But like 3
I can work with 3 years. I think I'll know after 3.
Yeah.
Oh, so 3 years, she's like absolutely gagging for it. Like she's just at every opportunity, she's thinking, when's he every time I tie my shoelace, she starts welling up in the eyes thinking this is it.
Done.
Anyway, so I book a trip to Europe.
Okay.
And we're by the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, wow.
And she's there going, this is it. Like it is Eiffel Tower. This is storybook. I get down on the one knee, but it is just to tie my shoelace. And she's like, fuck, I could have sworn that was it. Anyway, then I get up And I was like, oh, you know that curry we ate last night?
Yep.
My guts are churning. I feel really
Yep.
bad. Can
Yep.
we go to the toilet?
Yep.
So then we go to the toilet cubicle, and now she's convinced the moment's
It's
passed.
not.
Like,
It's not happening.
Nah, it's
Yep.
not. And then when I go over to throw up, that's when I pull the ring out. So it's like when she least expects it,
Yep.
at the toilet block
Yep.
next to the Eiffel Tower.
Okay. Well, you know what? I've always said this to you. I think you are the funniest man
Oh my God.
alive. Second to my husband. I'm sorry, but you are.
I can accept that.
You are the humor of. Anyway, I just die. I think that whoever you end up marrying is going to have that same humor. Where I think that would be a very beautiful way.
I hope so. Imagine that's what fucks it all up. Imagine she goes,
Then that person's not for you.
I
You know what I
couldn't
mean?
agree more,
I feel like proposals these days, it shouldn't just be what we're shown. I think it should be custom to.
Well, weddings now
the
aren't what they used to
relationship.
be. It used to have to be you pour tens of thousands of dollars in and you
Yeah.
have this massive ceremony.
Absolutely not.
You invite your florist or whoever.
Yeah, absolutely not.
And now it seems like more and more people are eloping, which is a cool thought.
It's what I did. It's what me and my husband did.
Oh, did ya?
Yeah,
Talk me through that.
We got married at the registry office. We only had our parents and some close friends, and then
Postman Pat must have lost my invite in the mail.
we wished them well, and then we just had a night, just us two. We got drunk. I
love getting drunk.
He got drunk. I didn't. I was pregnant.
I love getting drunk.
And we just enjoyed each other's presence, and we got a nice hotel, and it was just us, and I loved it. I loved it.
That's so funny, the dynamic. It makes sense. Like, obviously, you're pregnant, you can't drink.
No.
But I love that he's just there getting absolutely tanked.
Oh
on
yeah,
his wedding
I
night.
mean, look, the way he is and the way I am, like, I don't need drinks to have a good time, but at
Yeah.
the same time, like, he was gonna have.
I don't need drinks to have a good time, but gee, I have a bloody good time when I'm drinking.
No,
I don't need it, but fucking it's handy.
no, very true, very true.
So we do have little Silas and Annie.
Silas and Annie, yeah.
Silas and Annie. How does that change your life? I mean, obviously, in a very literal way, we all know, like, having kids.
Just every way you think your life will change, it's changed. In every way, whether it's the way I look at myself, my confidence, my ability to just even sleep in. I can't do that anymore. I can't have late nights. I can't go out to the movies if I want to. If I have plans with friends, that's got to be like a good three-week prep of like where I'm going, what time I'm leaving, what time I'm coming home, who's taking care of the kids, can Troy hack it? Like it's.
So did the gravity of all of that, were you aware of that? Did you have people informing you of that before you went and had kids, or was that
when you're in a bubble, Connor, you're just in a bubble and
Yeah.
like you just don't hear anything.
Yeah.
You're in this bubble of love and you're like, I don't care. And that's fine because me and my husband are we love a good movie.
Oh, don't we all?
I'm a
What have you
big-
watched lately?
Oh, we're on a TV series called Severance at the moment.
Okay.
Have you seen Severance?
No, I have
It's
not seen
fucking
Severance.
incredible.
Yeah.
You actually need. This is like a
What's
show
it on?
that.
What?
It's Apple TV.
Okay, I've got
but
that.
it's about you. It's like the concept is you go to work, but the person that goes to work, it's like you've got two brains.
Oh,
There's a
right.
chip in your brain, and like
Fuck,
you are
I'll-
a different person at work, and you're a different person at home.
I
You
would-
don't know the person you are at work, and
Oh,
you don't know
really?
the person you are out of home.
Shit.
And when you're at work, you don't know anything. You've never seen the sky. You've never seen you know everything.
I feel
but
like
you
there's
know,
some deep metaphorical things
yeah,
in
it's
that.
incredible.
Like,
Ben
about,
Stiller produced it all, and it's just it's incredible. So yeah, we're binging that at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're big homebodies overall.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. What about does it change how you think about your own parents, like having kids now? Like, has it impacted perhaps like what they did for you sort of thing?
Yeah.
Like, because I imagine that might be a bit of a perspective changer.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm sure I always say this, every family has their own problems. Every family has their own little hurdles that,
Of course.
And when you've got your own and you're in your own house and you're kind of building your own foundation, I think it's important to look at the great things that they've done, but then also the things you want to change.
Of course. Cycle and circuit breakers.
Correct, yeah. So as great as my parents are, and I love them more than anything, they gave me everything. I cannot complain. There are little, personality traits that I've had to change. For instance, I'm an Italian Greek, very passionate, very loud,
Yeah.
very overwhelming, overbearing type of person.
You're just an explosion of personality.
I'm just
I
an
would say.
explosion, and sometimes that is not the greatest thing in a household, especially if you want to put anger into that.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
like
gotcha.
learning how to unlearn
Have you got an angry streak in you? Can you get angry? You should have played footy, man. I could see you as like.
I can get angry,
you
but
being
it
a
takes a
beast
lot.
out
It takes a lot for me to get angry now.
Yeah.
I'm quite a chiller at the moment, but. Yeah, no, it's just little things like that that you've had to change, and just also grieving your old self that no one ever talks about. So this version of you that you have grown to be for 27 years that you love and you know, I had to say goodbye to that, which I didn't realize I had to, because you just become a new person that.
So was that? So how difficult was that? And
immensely. I used to have this hot little size 6 body with boobs so lifted, and I could wear anything, I could go anywhere. I was
Sounds
all
pretty
this,
good.
Yep. And then now it's just like, can't wear that anymore, can't do this anymore, I don't feel confident anymore. I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, oh, you complimented my hair and earlier outside when we said hello to each other, and that's one of the things throughout pregnancy. I lost a fair bit of hair, so all my life I've had this long hair I could do so many things with, and then now it's like I've got patches and it's like, all right, just chop it all off. Like, I can't do it.
It's like going back to the concept of the yin and the yang. It's almost like the more difficult the challenge is, the greater the reward at the end of it. You know?
For sure.
Obviously it's hard for me to completely speak with confidence given I'm the further thing away from kids, but I can only imagine the struggles, the challenges makes the good times all the more worthwhile.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, as long as you've got a good partner that's supportive, the rest is, I call it fluff. Like, it's all fluff. Like, you can get through it. I always say, like, we're these little micro things in the world. Like, what is going on in our own brains isn't as big as what's actually happening all over the world, and like the real world problems, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think it's just coming to terms with that and accepting it. And when you do, it's...
So you talk about sort of saying goodbye to your old self in a sense, or coming to grips that you're not the same person.
Yeah.
At the same time, have you managed to find a way to fall in love with your new self, and the way that, I don't think that there is anything more impressive or dumbfounding on this planet, like anything that inspires me more than the fact that the female body inside, the fact that you can make bones and muscles and that I can wrap my head around. What I can't wrap my head around is that inside your stomach you created consciousness, like the ability to perceive the world and the universe and have experiences, and all the fun I've had along my life. You have created that ability inside your stomach. Have you managed to find a way to fall in love with your new self and that you've done?
You wake up, this is the cycle. You wake up, you look in the mirror, you see your body, how much it's changed. You go through a bit of a shit headspace, and then I go to my daughter's room, I see her smile, and then I'm like, this is I'd take this any day.
100%.
So it's a bittersweet feeling. My husband and I call it like a beautiful chaos. We live in a beautiful chaotic life where it's so overwhelming, it's so overbearing. We are literally like almost about to suffocate because there's kids running around. Like, it's just like we don't get a minute to breathe. The minute they're asleep and we do have that minute, we miss it. And then we're like, I can't wait to see them when they wake up, and I can't wait to be with them. So it's the same thing. So yeah, you do definitely fall in love with it and you adapt. And I think that's another amazing thing about humans is that you quickly learn to adapt, especially when it comes to kids, because you see these beautiful little things and they're just so innocent and pure, and they're literally a version of you and the person you love the most. Yeah. And how can you complain about anything that comes along with that, You couldn't. I mean, like, I think that's almost the coolest part is that it's half you, half the person you love. Yeah.
Were you ever a Dragon Ball Z fan?
Yeah, I was.
You know how...
I was.
Yeah. You know how, like, Goku and Vegeta do, like, the fusion dance and then they become, like, Gogeta. They're, like, 50-50. That you've made Gogeta, man. Like, picked your dance partner and had a Gogeta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great way to look at it.
Yeah,
No, it is.
Actually, now that I think I wouldn't mind making my own Gogeta. That actually feels to me.
One's cool, two's a headache, but one's cool.
I think that when people ask, do you reckon you're going to have kids one day? It is conflicting because, well, for starters, I need to get a missus, so that would be handy. That is a handy first step.
Yep.
Not always a required first step.
Not always required, but helpful.
But one I would have a vested interest in. But I think I like the thought of possibly turning 38 or 44 years old and becoming a barista in the countryside of France. Like,
everyone has that. You know, like before falling pregnant with Trey, I was like I was ready to move to London and live like my hot girl, young life, own apartment. If I'm in debt, who cares? Like, and yeah, I mean, if that's your goal, that's your goal. I feel like everyone has this perception that's like, you're going to want kids one day.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to want to settle down. Like, you might not.
Yeah.
And that's totally okay. Like, everyone looks at women like they need to have kids in order to, you know, they don't. Like, it's a lot. Your life will change and your life changes completely. But in that same sense, you've got to want it. You know?
Barista in the French countryside or my own Gogeta. It's like there are pros and cons of both, man.
You could have both.
How do you make? Yeah,
you could have both.
I could bring Gogeta to the French.
You've just got to maybe get a French. Maybe you meet your missus in France.
Could do, yeah,
and then you have it in the countryside, and that's your life.
The language of love. I think the Australian accent could be the least sexiest of them all.
I disagree.
Do ya?
Yeah, I disagree.
You're a sexy accent.
Me and my husband always say this. I feel like, I don't know, I love Aussies, man. I just think we live in the greatest country, with the exception that there are some bullshits, like, I don't know. This is like a tough conversation.
Here we go. Are we going politics? Let's go
politics.
Yeah,
we're not going to go political because there's a side that I...
Trump or Kamala? No, I'm joking.
Kamala. But there is a side that I do disagree with. But when I look at Australia and the resources we have and the beautiful country that we have, and you know, I do believe there is a culture, and I do believe I love it, and I do love the accent, and I do, yeah.
The more I travel, and I was hardly a traveller. I'd done a couple trips here and there, and then I went on Deal or No Deal and fluked my way to 35k. I went, fuck it, I'm handing all.
So did you spend it? What happened? Did they just transfer it in your account? I'm so curious.
This is how fucked up it was, right? So I'll go on the show, win the 35k, right? So a week beforehand, my best female friend Lara rang me and said, Rog, I'm going to Mexico for a month by myself. My dad's flipping it that I'm going to Mexico by myself. He wants someone to come. Do you want to come? And I was like, I'd love to, laser, but I just don't have the money. 2 days later, I go on Deal or No Deal. I win 35k.
That's called the universe showing you that. What if she's your one?
I'm big. Lara, no, she's not the one. She's with Tom. We love Tom as well.
Okay, all right. Sorry, Tom. Tom.
We love you, Tom. Love you, Tom. Win the 35k. Ring her back. Book the fucking trip. Let's go. So she books it, and she's gone bougie, man. Like, she has gone. I'd be happy in hostels.
Lara's my kind of girl.
We're staying deluxe.
Absolutely
I felt like
not.
a celebrity.
And
so I transferred her the money, which was something stupid like 10 grand. And then I get a ring from Deal or No Deal. You don't get the money till the episode airs. All right. When's the episode airing?
Okay.
We don't know. And like, it might not air. And I'm there going, holy shit, man. Like, what if it doesn't air and I'm just 10 grand in
Wait, so you don't win the money if it doesn't air? Like,
nah,
they don't transfer it?
It's pretty much because, like, let's just say, right, I win the money. They transfer me the money. And then it turns out, like, I turn out to be some drug dealer and I bloody blow up a hospital, right?
Okay.
As most drug dealers do. And then they've already given me the 35k. They can't air the episode because I'm a horrible person and they've sort of lost some money. So they need to wait and sort of like protect themselves. Right. But still, I'm like, fuck, when's it going to air? And anyway, 3 months later, it aired the weekend of my birthday. So it was a nice little birthday present.
Great.
I won the money and went away to Mexico. And I'm glad. I hope Mexico need the money because it certainly didn't come back with me.
Did you blow it all there?
I wouldn't say all of it, but certainly the vast majority.
Okay, all right. Oh, look, it was an experience, right?
Yeah, the cartels are doing pretty well.
Yeah,
the cartels aren't shy of $1 anymore. Let me tell you. I was just the feeder club. I was like the Calder Cannons, like the midway between the AFL. Nah, of course not. I don't.
No.
I don't deal with the cartels. But no, so that was cool. How did we get onto the topic of Deal or No? 35k. I can't remember.
35k money.
Money. Can't remember. Oh yeah, that's But through traveling. It's made me realize, as much as I love Mexico, and that was like my favorite place I've been to, love Vietnam, which I went to after that. Sensational, but it just made me so grateful for Melbourne.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like me and my husband say this all the time. Nothing beats Melbourne. We've got it all, from restaurants. We've got the bougie areas. We've got the beaches. We've got everything that you could possibly want. You've got the sporting. You've got the events. You've got everything.
Food, fashion, sport.
Coffee.
The culture.
The culture of it is just...
Like, you go to Sydney, and I love Sydney. I really do.
Yep.
But there are a lot of events where people just don't turn out, like whether it be sporting events or whatever. Maybe it's because they've got such beautiful beaches.
They more so support though the NRL, is
The
that right?
NRL,
Yeah.
But even then, like the NRL's attendance is nowhere close to the AFL's.
No.
And I think it's because their culture of like the beaches and all that, like they're all doing that shit, whereas they're not turning up to big events, which is fine. But Melbourne, because
Every
we don't
week
have
something's on.
every week there's something on, which I love, man. Like our food, I went to Luxor. You ever been to Luxor King in Flemington, bro?
No.
That is the best fucking chow you have ever
Yeah?
had. Cheap as
Okay.
chips. It's only like $16-17 for a Luxor.
Okay.
Michelin star, baby. It's fucking incredible.
Yeah, nah. See, like I feel like especially here, you can go into any area. If you just see, it can look like the dingiest restaurant. Actually, no, you know what restaurant you need to try?
Yeah.
It is called, oh, fuck, I don't know if I want to put people on. Because it's one of those restaurants where it's like so low key right now.
We're not getting that. It's not like there's 50,000 people about to stream.
You never know.
There might be 4 people
never
and one
know.
of them goes,
All
fuck it,
right.
I'll pop in.
All right, it's called Don't Worry.
Don't worry.
It's Korean barbecue.
I'm not worried. Just tell me what it's called, man.
But it's like, it looks like the dingiest place.
Yeah.
Like, God, the food.
Korean barbecue.
Yeah, it is.
Did you recommend that to me just because I'm Asian? It was like, oh, let's just give him some Asian
Come on,
food.
man. I know the difference between Asians and it's you. And all this, Yeah, anyway.
Nah.
But,
yeah.
yeah,
Is that
no,
the one
it's
where you got to
insane.
cook it yourself?
No, they cook it for you.
Oh, thank God, man. You go to those fucking weird-ass
But,
Asian barbecue joints.
$35 for all you can eat.
Yeah. It's
okay?
like, yeah, you pay $40 so I can cook it yourself.
It's
What the fuck am I
$35
paying
and you
for?
can get like unlimited salad, unlimited kimchi, unlimited all these things. It's only the meat that's like, but they fill you. Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
You go before 5 o'clock, they give you a free drink. Like it's just
Shit.
perfect.
Fucking
Yeah, you
hell.
need to try it out.
I'll just go in 4 o'clock. I won't even get anything to eat. I'll just go
You
in and
need
get my
to- you
free
need to
drink and
try it
take
out.
off.
You need to try it out.
Yeah,
honestly.
beautiful. All right, so aside from your beautiful life now as a wife and a mother, you also had season 1 of Tori and Mine go by. Talk me through the concept of Tori and Mine. How it was birthed and how it's going now.
Yeah, I mean, right now we're on a bit of a break based on the fact that I've just given birth. So we're just kind of
as good a reason as any.
a little bit of a maternity break. But it's going great. It was just another way for us to get our personalities out there and get to know people the way that they want to get to know us throughout social media. Because, I mean, look, you look on social media, look on someone's Instagram and TikTok, and it's still just a very... curated, highlighted place. And we just wanted that to be a bit of an unfiltered, raw place where people can get to know who we are, our stories, our lives, and things like that. And through that, we created a business called Trine by Tori and Mine.
That really excited me when I saw that.
Yeah.
Like, I think that is required. But tell us what it is.
It's ultimately just like a catch-up club that we've started for girls where, you can come and meet new people without the whole social media aspect behind it. And it's just a place where you come, enjoy good company, have a coffee.
Now, I'm so out of the loop with the culture of the species they call women.
Yeah.
But us lads, right, we want to catch up. There's always an activity. We'll go play golf.
Yeah.
We'll play FIFA even, and we just sit there and 4 of us play FIFA, and that's like how we chat shit. There's always some, even if it's just gathering at a pub to have a few pots and watch the footy. Do you think that like women and girls need more of a catch-up sort of space? Because I don't know what
Can I
girls
be
do.
honest? I think the difference between men and women is that men have the same friends from high school and they kind of have that mate, that group, and then they stick with that group. And because they've known that group for so long, it's like that's their lifelong mates and they can do anything and it just kind of falls. I feel like women, it's a bit different. You can either have that group or you lose your friends, and then I feel like we're a bit pickier.
Do you reckon there's something scientific in that? Like
Yeah,
men are
I
like
think-
loyal to their friends, something to
I
do
don't
with
know.
like evolution?
You can say
or-
that. You could say it's loyalty, or you could say that sometimes, some people can ignore certain, they might not even take it seriously.
Yeah,
Some things
gotcha.
like, okay, for example, right? I had my daughter's first birthday. If I invited you as a mate and you didn't come, you're not coming to the second.
Yeah, gotcha.
Whereas as dudes, I feel like, oh, you can't make it, it's all good, mate. Like, I'll see you next week. Like, it's like
100%,
there's
yeah.
no big deal. Like, it's no skin off my nose. So I think women hold other women a bit more accountable because, I don't know,
It makes sense. I mean, it's
I don't know.
I think that way you will have a lot more real friends.
Yeah, yeah.
Us lads, we might have a few more superficial relationships.
It's not necessarily superficial. I think it just honestly just doesn't bother you.
Yeah.
I think you just don't actually care.
I think that's a good way of putting it.
It's not necessarily more so whether it's loyalty or fake or whatever. I actually just think
it's like you go to
you go see your friends to have like a beer and a meal, and that's it. And then you're going home and you're not thinking about it. Whereas women, like, I feel like if I'm going out of my time to spend time with you, I want it to be like quality time, and I want to talk and like.
Which is great. Which is like, I don't think there's a right or wrong. I think just two different species.
Yeah.
But I think a great example is women. You will go to you'll have a little gathering at someone's house, and you have got like the most deluxe platter you've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's like the brie, the cabana, the dips, the biscuits.
Yep.
It's like it looks like what's that? What did Jesus do?
The First Supper.
It looks like the First Supper.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what it looks like. And I think you can maybe be a bit picky, like, these grapes aren't even ripe or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I had an argument with Trey because he got me green grapes as opposed to
he
red.
didn't, did he?
He did.
You're fucking kidding.
And it just threw it all off, and it just wasn't the way I imagined it, but it was all right.
You ever try those fairy floss grapes?
Absolutely. That's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. Like, that's the quality.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Man, those fairy floss grapes, man, I don't know what the fuck is going on there, but that is incredible.
Look, being Italian, I'm picky about my raw meats. So, like, my husband might get some salami from Coles, and I'm like, no. You don't go to Coles to get your salami.
Your grandpa or nonna
you
to
go
make,
to
you
the
make
deli,
it himself.
and you go to the Italian deli that you find on the corner. It looks a bit dodgy, and you get it from there. Like, it's like little things like that. But I mean, I get it.
So I think
I'm guilty of
the
that.
girls have this deluxe platter, and you're picking apart like what's right, what's wrong.
Yeah.
Whereas the lads, you go to the boy's house. If he has like one pack of salt and vinegar chips,
that's
you're
enough.
like, bro, you look after me like gold. You got a pack of chips for me? Really?
You know what? Fuck. I think after this episode, Connor, I think you need to come for dinner.
Yeah.
And I think your mind is going to be blown.
What's on the agenda?
I don't know. I think I don't know if it's a European thing. I don't know what it is, but
I'll come for tea.
There's like 3 different meals with like an entree, and then there's the main, and there's the dessert.
Really?
And then
You're doing
there's
3
like
course type operations.
at the I don't know. It's just it's just what I know. I mean, look, me and my friends, we all kind of speak the same language when it comes to hosting, and it's just
English.
Yeah, it's just we just
Yeah, that's
get the
sick,
same
man.
thing.
That's sick. I'm think as I'm getting a little bit older, I'm taking a bit more pride in my kitchen prowess. Like I do like to cook good food and do all the rest of it. How are you going as a chef?
I hate cooking.
As a home cook. Really? Do you hate cooking or do you hate cleaning?
No, I love cleaning.
What the hell?
I love
what
cleaning.
The actual fuck?
It's a rule. It's a rule in our house that Trey will have to help me cook every now and then. Like, we'll cook together, or like, beauty thing. Like, the most beautiful thing about being with an Aussie, he's half Australian, half South African. So
is he really?
Yeah. So
I never would have picked that, man.
Yeah.
Looking at him, I thought that he was like half American or something.
Nah. He lived in the States, worked in the States, but he's honest to God, like true blue Aussie when it comes to food palate. Like, he's not the fussiest person at all.
Yeah.
Give him a chicken parma, he's happy.
Yeah.
Give him 2-minute noodles,
if you give a man,
happy.
You give a man a chicken parma and he's not happy, I think he's not a man at all.
He's a very, like, he's so easy, and that's the greatest thing for me because, coming from like a European wog heritage, it's like not what I'm used to, especially with men.
Yeah.
So the fact that I don't like cooking, I can literally pull out, a cheese toastie, and he'll look at it like, fuck.
Babe,
I am spoiled.
How fucking good a cheese toastie?
Do you know that? Have you seen that movie, The Castle?
Oh yeah, it's a classic.
Trey.
Yeah,
That's Trey. He's like, what?
Tell
Look
him
at
he's
this.
dreaming.
Yeah, look at this. Like, she's made
rissoles. Yeah.
She's made mashed potatoes. Look at this.
How
look
good's
at
a
that.
mash?
So
Yeah.
I'm very happy for that. But
lucky you.
cleaning I enjoy doing.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
Well, I think that's a perfect sort of operation. If I can find a wife that enjoys cleaning, because I love the cooking, but I hate the cleaning.
Yeah.
But going back to Tori and Mine.
Yeah.
So you're surrounded, especially with Trine. What does Trine mean?
It actually means 3. So it's mind, soul, body. It's just like connecting and yeah. So we actually originally came up with that name because we were going to release a product that was like it's called Palo Santo. It's like sage, but instead of it being burning sage, because culturally you can't, like, being white, you shouldn't sell sage.
Right, gotcha.
But it's a way that
Glad you've told me that. I was planning on selling some sage next week.
But it's a way that people can use it in a way that's respecting cultures and whatnot. We were going to go down that route, but then we were like, you know what? We see a gap where we've only got each other. We're each other's only mates, and we'd love to make more friends, and we'd love to meet the people that message us, and we'd love to be a part of something that's a bit more bigger and better. And
so you're talking about like love and relationship, friendships as struggles and the joys of being a younger woman. When you're surrounded by these women, do you think is there a common thread or a theme that you think people need help with or guidance or support, or is there a common...
I think it's just everything we all struggle with. I think it's just connecting with people that are honestly like us and finding people that we can genuinely get along with, and, you know, forget about the whole social media aspect of like what's cool and what's not and who has this and who has that. And it's just finding people that like you for who you are. And the women that come to, you know, these catch-ups, they're amazing. They're just women that want to meet new people, and that's all it's about.
It's so important to have that real tangible connection rather than just basing your relationships off the world of social media. And we all get sucked into it, man. Like if I upload something that I think is cool or funny or makes me look good, and I get heaps of likes and compliments, it makes me feel incredible.
Absolutely.
It's a great thing, but you can't get lost in the fact that human interaction face to face is what gets you
got to use the app and not let the app use you. You know, so it's all good and well, but when you're on social media, you look at the highlights that everyone posts, but know that they are highlights of their life. And this catch up is just a place where you can come in your trackies and you don't have to come with makeup and looking like all presentable. Just come as you are. Just come with an open mind and treat people with kindness. That is all we ask. And just enjoy coffee, enjoy matcha, and just kick it.
100%.
Yeah.
Is that what you've been doing at the catch-up clubs? It's like yoga, matcha, all this sort of stuff. That's very wholesome stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we're all about, my business partner is all about fitness. She's all about, you know, doing what's well for your body.
How did you two meet?
We met when I had come off that bad relationship. I had no friends, and
I can't believe no friends, Victoria, is a real thing.
No, it was. I had literally no one except for my best guy mate, and I'll cherish him till the day I die. But yeah.
So was that the main inspiration for you behind starting this club?
Yeah.
Is you knew what it felt like to potentially not have the friendships required to sort of thrive as a human?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's sad to admit this, but like, it's like what you said, like you look at my socials and you look and you know me from primary school and even high school, and it's like you can't imagine me not having friends, but it was the truth. I really had no one I could talk to. I had no one that I could really like go to the movies with and connect with and have a girls' night with and go do yoga with and go get a coffee with. And it was just something that we both wanted to involve on.
So once you've done your catch-up clubs, have you forged friendships there or seen friendships being forged that really inspires you to continue doing what you're doing?
One of the girls that we've had, I think, a total of 5 catch-ups now.
Really?
And one of the girls that came to the first ended up traveling to Egypt with another girl that she met.
You're kidding?
Yeah, no, it was insane.
That is special.
It was insane. So when she told us that, Jazz and I looked at each other like, what the fuck?
How'd that make you feel?
We just felt like this is why we're doing it. Like, this is it. Like, okay, this just made us feel happy, and we'll do the next time. Like, we'll do it again. Like this, like it's just inspiring and it just feels good.
It's such an incredible, like there's no greater motivation than doing. You know, people will be reluctant to put themselves out there and do. And the hardest bit is starting. But once you do put yourself out there, you make the podcast or you paint the art that you were wanting to paint for ages, and then you see someone observe the art and appreciate it. And the first step of starting is the hardest, but after that it gets so much easier, I think, because you see the joy you can bring to people and the effect that you can have on people.
I mean, we're talking about this behind the scenes. It's like even with content creation and like putting yourself out there, I feel like as long as you're doing what you want to do and what gives you purpose, like it'll be easy.
Was there a hesitancy or a fear of putting yourself out there at the start?
Nah, I'm not going to lie. I feel like I've never struggled in that aspect. And I know that some people do, which is why we only ask people to come with like an open mind and like come with kindness, because that's hard to come to a place by yourself to meet a bunch of random girls. But I'm lucky enough that I've never really struggled with social anxiety and like anxiety in that way.
But even like putting yourself out there on the internet for you to be seen, and especially when and I do this as well on this show where I'm giving my opinions as if I have wisdom to share.
Yeah.
And who knows whether I'm wise or not.
Yeah.
Who knows whether my opinion is worthwhile.
Yeah, but that's someone else is relating to you. Maybe not the first person watching it, but the second might.
Yeah.
And then what you're putting out there for that second person has maybe changed their perspective of how, or has helped them. So I think that, you know, it's like what I said earlier, we're these little micro beings in the world, but at the same time, like one person can, if you're changing one person's life or perspective or relationship or whatever it may be, like that's immense. Like that's insane.
The butterfly effect that can come from that.
Absolutely.
It really is incredible. So it's on a bit of a pause now. How do you go balancing, or, you know, you probably haven't figured it out yet, nor should you have, but balancing wife life, mother life, and career aspiration life, you know, it must be pretty challenging.
It is challenging because, you know, as a mum, I had to look at what my priorities were, and my priorities will always be my family, my husband, my kids. And then as much as I am a priority, my career doesn't fall into place with that first. So I've got this checklist in my head. All right, dinner's got to be ready, food's got to, house has to be clean, clothes have to be washed, kids have to have like solid amount of attention and all these things. I've got to make sure Trey's all good. I've got to make sure he's working and he's feeling creative because he works from home. And once that's all done, then I kind of like, when I've got my me time at 8 p.m, then I look back and I think, all right, now I can dive into what I want to do. And that's when I'm messaging Jazz and I'm like, all right, this is what I have an idea for the episode. This is what I think we should do for the catch-ups. This is what I think we should do. And then it's just, I think, like, you know, organising your time and time management. And
I can only imagine
that's all it is.
That in itself would be very empowering to other people in a position where I can only imagine that once you have kids, male or female, but especially female, considering typically it's the mother who spends the most time with the kids, it could seem like you're climbing Everest trying to get your own career to where you want it to get to. But, you know, you being able to arrange your time in a way that you can still get this.
Look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend it's every night. It's definitely not. I think it's sitting at them all once a week type of thing. But if it's in you and it's something you want to do, you'll make time for it.
Sweet as.
But at the same time, you know, like if you're that tired and you're knackered, you're only going to, like, it's only normal to go to sleep and not think about it and watch a 100%. Show and just,
You know, you uploaded this video once.
Okay.
And it was probably
I'm scared.
No, it was the best video ever. I was like, oh, this looks like a megastar.
Okay.
And it's when you were wearing that purple kit and you're shredding the guitar. It looked like
it
looked like you were on top of Santorini. I don't know where you were, but it looked like you were on top of the world, man.
Yeah.
Shredding this guitar.
Yeah.
It was girl, you're so smooth. Santana Smooth, which is an absolute track, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
Banger.
I agree.
You hear that and it makes you say, fuck, I haven't heard this in a while. Elite track. Banger. Shredding the guitar, were you always grown up with that ability? Is it a recent thing? And when did you have the ability to shred Santana, arguably the greatest guitarist of all time?
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing since we were in primary school, you know. It's just always been a hobby of mine. It's something I enjoy. It's something I love. Is it something I like look at as a career? No, it's just something that it's just like watching footy. It's just something I enjoy doing.
No, watching footy has sort of become a career for me.
Is it a career? No, you're right. I take that back. I'm sorry.
Turned it into a career.
And that's good. That's great. No, but I'm saying like as, you know, a normal hobby for other people. Not Connor, no.
I would sit there and watch a footy and go, fuck, imagine if I could make $1 off
I remember as children, because we were children, how obsessed you were with it. And to be honest with you, I think it's so incredible how you've turned that love for a sport without playing the sport.
I play it just really bad. Saying, like, really bad.
You've turned it into just, I remember, okay, am I wrong for thinking that you were on that? Do you remember that show?
The footy show.
Yeah, but you were on it like as a kid.
Yeah, I was on it as a little chubby Asian virgin.
No, I remember.
I'm not chubby anymore.
No, but I remember that, and I remember
Still
thinking to myself like, it's incredible how you found something that you've loved and you have incorporated it in your career and in your life.
It's just following the passion, you know, just being so. Maybe it comes easy for me because I'm a naturally passionate person about the things that I like.
Yep.
But for me, it was never like a thing where I set out goals and I went, all right, I'm going to do this, and work hard and get there. I was just so outwardly passionate about what I love that sort of the law of attraction brought it to me rather than, it didn't feel like I went out and get it. Maybe from an outside observer, it looks like I went out and got it. I was just so passionate about it, and it sort of feels like it all came to me.
I think that's amazing. I think that's inspirational within itself. But
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I hope. Well, Victoria, this event that we've been kicked to the glorified broom closet for is about 15 minutes from kicking off. So we probably need to get out of here before we interrupt their event. But to be honest, I wouldn't want to last another 10 minutes in this hell.
I am sweating bullets.
Yes. You don't want to sweat bullets, man.
I am sweating.
Don't want to sweat bullets.
I'm sweating balls right now.
Yeah, well, maybe go back to bullets. I think that's slightly better. I think I might marginally prefer bullets over balls. But is there anything else you want to rattle off? Is there anything pressing matters in your head? No issues if not.
Nah. I think
we got it all off the chest.
Yeah, we definitely did. And I think anybody watching this, I think like if you have any type of desire to get into content, podcasting, social media, I think the best way to do it is to just start doing it.
100%. Well, make sure you do keep an eye out, everyone listening, viewing at home, for the great return of Tori and Mine and Trine. We all eagerly wait and with anticipation. But thank you so much for coming on, Victoria.
Me. I really appreciate it.
Let's not make it another 8 years before we catch up next time.
No, of course not. I'm actually keen for you. I want you to meet Trey.
Love to.
Trey would love to meet you. We actually watched a Deal or No Deal.
Is he going to be cool with me, considering you had a crush on me in grade 6? Is that going to be an issue?
I think we've moved on. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in to Rog, and we'll see you next week with another guest that's probably not going to be quite as cool.